All right, so here's a summary of what happened when the real estate agent and the landlord showed up at 2 o'clock after I failed to negotiate a time over the phone. So they came. When they knocked on the door, they said that they were here to take pictures. And I told them that it was an inconvenient time of day. It was Sunday, 2 o'clock, for them to come and take pictures of the house and why it couldn't be done tomorrow, which is today, Monday, or Monday evening or on Tuesday. And the landlord said, I have to work. So that was what she said. And I said, well, I did work by having to move all the things out of the bedroom to show the severe rotting damage on our son's bedroom floor. And then I brought up the electric bill, which is in my name, and I've had it under my name for years. And I said, so when are you going to reimburse us for all the electricity that you used when you did work around the house? She acted like I didn't know what I was talking about. So I just explained to her that when they fixed the roof, which took years for them to fix the leaks, but they finally did it, they used the electricity. It was probably a 3-day job. When they took out one section of one floor that was rotted, full of mold on the underside, they used all our electricity. And that was a 2-3 day job. Then they had other people come in and a different crew come in later and put the top of the floor on. The pressure washing of the house, no prorated rent, nothing. So she wouldn't address it. So they came in the house, started taking pictures of the house as they're walking through. And I said, look, this is my home. And this, for me to have to do all this work, on my time, when I had other things to do, one was going to church. We were on our way to go to church, had my son dressed, ready to go. And I was told that it doesn't matter. So Gail specifically said that this wasn't my home. And she said that all she would have to do was call the cops and they'd come drag me out. Melody, the real estate agent, she's the one who said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So Melody, while she didn't say this isn't my home, Gail did. Melody, the real estate agent, when I made the statement that this is still my home, respect it. She said, it doesn't matter. You're not on the lease. It doesn't matter. You're not on the lease. So then as we're walking through the house, I'm saying, why don't you just talk to me, woman to woman or mommy to mommy? And Gail, the landlord, just screamed at me to get out of her face, which I wasn't in her face. I was a distance away from her. So then we're standing in my son's bedroom, and Colton goes, this isn't our home. And Gail says, that's it. Tell it like it is. So encouraging my child to say that it's not his home. So then we go out to the living room, and they're taking pictures of like tiny little cracks on the wall, the whole 9 yards. And I said, look, why would you not give me the notice that you're coming in? I'm happy, I've told y'all, you can have my phone number, you could call me. And they kept telling me that I wasn't relevant, that I'm not on the lease, that I am nothing. I'm nothing. I'm not on the lease. They can do whatever they want. So then I said to Melody, the real estate agent, I said, look, I said, we have a potential to become homeless. And Melody said, I work with homeless people. I said, oh, okay. She works with homeless people. That's what she says. I don't know what she does. Then we go out into the living room, and I'm asking Gail as she's walking through, I said, I painted that ceiling. When are you going to compensate me for that? If this isn't my home? Why is today, all of a sudden, it's not my home? Or when you put it on the market, it's not my home. Let me finish making the video. So then, I go on to say, look at all the things that I've done for you, for this house. It's never looked better. And she did not address that. She turned around and she screamed at me. That sideboard, that molding board that goes on the side of the wall that I showed you all earlier in an earlier video, it was sticking out a little bit out from the couch, and apparently one of the cats pushed it out a little bit. She walks right into the living room. She walks right up to it. She grabs it and says, what is this doing on the ground? You left this on the ground for your son to step on with bare feet? And she's just going on and being dramatic. And I said, oh. I said, Gail, I said that, I was told to leave that because it was going to be put up. And it's behind the couch. But I had to move the furniture so you could take pictures of all the repair work that needs to be done in this house. But she's not hearing what I'm saying. She's screaming, ah! That kind of screaming. My voice was escalated because I felt a lot of anxiety. So I was talking like this. So, Gail, why are you coming in? When this is our home, it needs to be respected. So I'm just giving you a level of the tone that I used. But obviously more anxiety at the time. So this is, I'm talking, our landlord, like, ah! Scream. Was it loud, Colton Max?
Yeah, so
it was loud. She picked up that molding, picked it up, and screamed at me to get out of her face. Was I in her face or away from her?
Away from her.
I was away from her. I was already a couple feet away from her. She's all, get out of my face! What is this doing on the ground? Acting totally covering for herself. Totally trying to cover that molding should have been put there and that it was left there. So she's screaming at me, get out of my face! Open the door! Open the door now! And I looked at her and I said, I'm not afraid of you, Gail. Can you see my eyes? I'm not afraid of you. I kind of was. But I did not want to feel fear. But that's what I said. I said, I'm not afraid of you. See, scream all you want. And I opened the door for her. So then Melody says to me, after Gail leaves and goes out the house, Melody says, I can't believe the way you acted, Audrey. I would never act that way. And she had this like little smile on her face like this. And she was just, walking around like really calm. And then she kept touching my son and trying to have a conversation with my son. Did Gail, or not Gail, did Miss Melody keep trying to touch you and talk to you? She kept trying to engage my son. So I had to tell her, please don't touch my son. You don't need to talk to him. Just finish taking your pictures. Do what you need to do. So then she said that to me. Instead of, she's an advocate for homeless people. Instead of making sure that I was okay, when I was being like screamed at by Gail, she just totally defended her.